All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. Of course, this is the part where we get to have the interview with our guests who are very much ready to dissect the focus for today. Electioneering process in Nigeria, effect, implications, and we do have a former commissioner for information in Ekiti State, Honorable Lanre Ogunsuyi. Glad to have you join us this morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Please FM family. Good morning,
Glow
listeners.
FM.
Yeah, Viva Ekiti State.
Okay.
You're
All right.
welcome.
You're welcome, sir. Of course, we have the former NBA chairman, Owo Branch, Barrister Tajudeen Olutope Ahmed. Thank you very much for accepting to talk to Glow FM. Hello, Barrister, are you there? Barrister Tajudeen, are you there? All right. We'll try to connect with them very much. Barrister Tajudeen, can you hear us? Okay. All right. Let's begin with Honorable Ogunshuyi. Sir, are you there, sir? Okay. So very quickly, sir, what can you say just before we move on to the just concluded election, gubernatorial election in Ekiti State and the by-election in Ondo State here? What can you talk about, or what can you say about electioneering process in Nigeria? Do you think it is following due process or not? What's your take on electioneering process in Nigeria? Do you think it is the way it should be? Do you think it is what it's supposed to be? What's your take?
Good morning once again, and thank you for having me. Elections are evolutionary. You will know that it's been evolving from option A4 to several things, and even the Electoral Act is something that goes through amendment. And as I speak with you, the Senate is doing some amendment to the Electoral Act too. So I want to say that there are no perfect elections all over the world. The elections in Ekiti State, one thing that is very complimentary is that it is peaceful. There is no vote ballot stuffing or ballot snatching or violence. No life was lost. The election management bodies too were able to get the materials to the to the different polling units on time. Yes, there will always be complaints, especially from people who lost the election. But I want to say that there are a few places that we want the elections to get better, but not with the conduct, because an election is a process. It's not a product. When you look at the election day alone, you are looking at the product. But the process will only lead to the product. And part of the processes is that we have to think. Election is not a new thing. One good thing is the inventor of anything suffers a lot because he has no blueprint to go on. But once it is invented, it becomes easy for anybody to copy. There's Ghana is now being seen as the doyen of democracy in Africa because of its clean elections. There is voting by proxy, there is voting by post. So those are the processes that we must look at. Then campaigns should be more online. We can't have an online live. And then we don't have online campaign. We have physical campaign, which is very expensive. Then we have to look at the principles of exclusion. Exclusion for people living with challenges, living with disabilities. We have schools for the blind, but we don't have election for the blind. Things like that. I think because when we look at people who participated, yes, they were able to exercise their franchise. But what about the people who are disenfranchised, not by because they don't want to vote? What about the people in the hospitals? What if they are still Nigerians and they will leave the hospitals and live with the consequences of the election? So that's why there should be chance for people to vote by proxy, not only physical voting, like in the days of the Australopithecus man. I think we should look at the process well, not in a selfish manner, because no actor will be there forever, but in a way to look at what is good in other places and import it into our system and clean it up. But I think it is. I think it's okay. It's violent free here in Ekiti State. I don't know from those states, but here it's violent free.
Okay. Honorable Lanre Ogunsuyi, you are a former commissioner for information and you seem to be, quite informed. I'm not disappointed. But one thing is this. If you look at the overview of electioneering process in Nigeria, you as top government functionary, if we had to score us over 10, what number would you give us? And apart from the, things that you have said that we have to work on, are you very, very convinced that the next general election would be devoid of all the ills of election in Nigeria? But I need the scoreboard. If you had to score our electioneering process over the years, you'll be in the corridor of power, over the years. Over 10, what number would you give it? And of course, ahead of next general election, are there, glimpses of hope that would improve on, the things that we don't do well?
I think we should begin with Barrister Ahmed Tolulope. Barrister, you there?
Yes,
Yeah. Did you get the question? Did you get the question?
Barrister, did you get the question?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't get the question. I'm just
Okay.
telling you now.
Okay.
Okay, here is the question. Ahmed, Mr. Lanre Ogunsuyi has spoken. Would like you to also take an aspect before we continue. What I'm saying is this: looking at the electioneering process in Nigeria over the years, yourself as a top, as an elite and a legal savvy, and who has walked through the corridors of powers, to service things with people. Now, let's look at this. If you had to rate our electioneering process over 10, what number would you give it from 0 to 10? And are there hopes ahead of next general election that we will get some things right? And what are those things?
Well, thank you very much. I want to say that even when things are fairly better, it is not yet Uhuru. I'm in Ekiti State as I'm talking to you now.
Good.
And I witnessed the election that was conducted yesterday. And I witnessed the one that was conducted in the past. And just a position now, I can say that things are better, but we have not yet, get it perfect.
Is that a 5 over 10?
Okay, rating now. I think I can rate what we have now. I can rate it. The Bibles that has not been introduced when you compare it and all that, I think I can rate us 70%.
Okay, please continue.
Yes, because the Bibles now, the picture taken by the Bibles and all that, compared to the one that we used to have, I think, and I learned it is the 12 states, whether they are using for the first time. I don't know. I learned the election was conducted in Ondo State too, the by-election.
The by-election, yes.
Yeah, so, but I think compare what we had yesterday with what we used to have in the past, I think INEC has taken a leap forward. It has taken a leap forward. That does not mean that there are no challenges, because there are situations whereby the Bibles malfunctioned, and they have to, the people, they were sort of disenfranchised because when the machine is no longer responding. So things like that, do happen. But when you look at the peaceful atmosphere under which the election was conducted, one will know that we have moved beyond where we used to be in the past. It used to be war, at the polling units. But, yesterday, it was not like that. Things went well, and the arrangement put on ground was far, far better than the one we used to have. The security officers, were adequate, and they comported themselves very well. There was no harassment of electorates.
And even the INEC officials too are very civil, unlike in the past. So that's why I said we are fair better, but it's not yet the Uhuru. We have not gotten to the promised land.
Okay.
But I think we can really get to the promised land, with time.
All right, thank you very much. My colleague has a question for Honorable Ogunsuyi.
All right, sir. Honorable Ogunsuyi.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, let me ask this straight question. Because Barrister Olutope just says that election in Nigeria now has improved. And on Saturday we witnessed where someone was beaten, mercilessly beaten.
A driver.
Yes, and as well as we witnessed someone who came out and said he has been paid. That vote buying is going on in the Ekiti, there.
And we also saw where EFCC
Yeah.
men were chased away from the polling centers.
Because thank you, Comfort. Thank you. So we
Yeah.
see all of this, and now you're coming out and say that election in Nigeria has improved, especially in the Ekiti State. That you're currently in the Ekiti State. Now my question is this: just a simple question I want to ask now. Can elections truly reflect the will of the people when financial inducement heavily influences voter decisions?
That is a simple question. Yes.
How?
How do you mean?
The people own the elections. The election is not according to the wishes of the minority, but the wishes of the majority. You will see that over 1 million people collected PVC to vote in the state. And the winner won with 300 and something thousand votes. That's about 30%. If people don't come out to vote and all they can do is, after the election, complain about the irregularities in the election, like they said, if you think election is dirty, go with your own brand of soap and go and wash it clean. Where are those 700,000 people that didn't vote? They don't care. Those are the big men in society who don't care for the pittance. The people that are collecting the money, they are not happy with it. It is the system that makes them to do that. Election merchandising is as a result of the economic realities of the time. And it didn't start on the election day. Like I said, it is a process, not a product. If you say one driver was beaten up, was he beaten up in his polling unit? If I saw the video, I heard the big man saying, my driver has been beaten up, Another big man was hugging the driver and telling him, sorry, don't worry, we'll buy this. He was probably saying, we'll buy you another clothes and other. What I'm saying is that people will get what they deserve or what they want. What we have is what people want. If there are buyers, and the buyers were chased away by the would-be sellers, there will not be a market.
Of course.
But there cannot be a handshake unless there are two hands. So the people, and unfortunately, democracy is the will of the majority. If majority says, I would rather sell my vote now, because if I don't, in 4 years, I won't get anything. Let me sell and get whatever I can get now. It's unfortunate. But you won't find doctors there. You won't find lawyers there. You won't find big civil servants from maybe level 8, level 7, level 10, big levels up. You won't find professionals there. The professionals, why don't they go to vote without collecting money and outvote those who are collecting money? So if you come round and say somebody who has not counted 10,000 in 4 years, he's now been given 10,000 to do something within 5 minutes, then he will do it. And you that you are criticizing him, it is just because the hand of hunger has not touched you. So you don't know the reality of the fact that what 10,000 rand means to you is not what it means to the seller of his vote.
Mr.
Some are
Ogunshoyi,
sick.
Mr. Ogunshoyi,
Some,
do you know we have Nigerians who who belong to the vulnerable class, but who have very strong
sorry, sir,
discipline, who are equally not selling their
let me,
votes.
Oga, let me make my point.
Please
You ask
make
the
it.
question.
Okay.
There is no health scheme for the elderly. Some are sick and dying. There are no drugs in the health center. You all heard when they said 240 million was allocated to the health sector nationally. There is no health insurance scheme for people who are elderly, and they are not productive, except for Abia State now. So if somebody is sick and they say, "Okay, you better go and take 10,000 to vote," and he takes it, you that you are not sick and you are having 1 million in your account, you can't be judged over him. So go ahead with your question, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, that earlier you said that we should we should improve our elections and copy other countries, whatever they are doing that is good. We should also, put that in our electioneering process, which is, seem to be a bit of light. But I'd like to ask, why is it difficult for INEC, basically to make sure that what you are saying is done? For example, allow people to vote conveniently, maybe with the use of advanced technology, or have we not matured, to that point? Because as of this morning, I'm checking again the figures. There's a standalone specific, given to INEC, confirmed by Professor Josh Amukuton, INEC chairman, and the numbers are big: 873.78 billion naira budget proposal, strictly for the conduct of 2027 general elections. Are we far from what other countries are doing, despite the abundance of our graduate professionals, first degree, second degree, doctorate, and this and that, and everything? Nigerians, where are we going to? Can we get it right? Can we vote by proxy on a computer? Everybody on India, because our handprints are not the same.
Yes, it's even easy. When I buy MTN card and I load it, if you load it, it will not go again. It's not simple. And like I said, when you copy what other people are doing, it's very simple. It is very simple, because you just have to ask them how to do it. But don't blame INEC. INEC is just an election management body. They are not the people that make the laws that govern what they are doing. There is a National Assembly that makes the law. So the INEC is just operating within the purview of those laws. So what we have to do is to tinker with the structure of the society, to look at society in the face and say, this is not what we want. This is not where we want to be. But how can we say that? In 1953, Chief Obafemi Awolowo proclaimed Western free education in Western region. By 1960, we already had technical colleges in Ado-Ekiti, in Okitiupa, and a few other places like that, to train people for middle-level technical manpower. All the technical colleges are dead.
All right.
Free education is no longer available. So how do you, somebody who is poor mentally, how do you expect him to operate within a structural system? So it's looking hopeless. So all of us have to come around, not to blame INEC or blame police or blame the FCC, because if we say blame, there is not blame to go around everybody. We blame society, we blame those who take the money, we blame those who buy the vote. No! Let us look at it. How can we make it better?
All right.
That's what I think.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ogunsuyi. Let's move on to Barrister Ahmed. Yes, Olutope. Barrister, are you there?
I'm here, but all along I've not been hearing anything. Even
Yes.
the contribution of the other guests, I didn't hear a word from it, and I think something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah, something is wrong. We apologize for that. So let's move on to you. Let's quickly ask because as we speak, Honorable Gunshi may not be able to also hear your own question. I think it's a technical issue that will be solved in due time. So let's talk about vote buying and voter apathy. And this is because you're a barrister and, of course, a former NBA chairman in our branch. Section 127 of the Electoral Act criminalizes vote buying. Yet in the last election, we saw someone who proudly said the person got 15,000 naira. And of course, we had some other persons who got other money for votes in just the just concluded election, even in Ondo here and in Ekiti. Why is the law powerless here, and how do we prove it in court?
Well, vote buying has always been part of our electoral system, and people have come to get used to it. There are some laws that are very difficult to enforce, and part of the law is vote buying. Just like we have, like I said earlier, there are some laws that are very difficult to enforce. In our laws, it is clearly stated that it is illegal for individuals to bury their dead ones in their houses. But nobody is enforcing that law because it seems the populace is massively against such law. The same thing goes by. I remember, I can recollect that during the recently concluded election, the FCC were on ground in Ekiti, and they make an attempt to arrest certain group of politicians that were exchanging money. Do you know that the entire populace has to pursue the EFCC officials? A large number, they pursue them away, meaning that they are saying no to the enforcement of that section of the law, which is very, very unfortunate. And what do you think will have been responsible for such things? It is because of the massive poverty that is in our communities. Everybody look on to the election day as a day with which
To cash out.
their bread will be buttered. Yes. Most of the people that come out, they come out because of the little things they will get after voting. And it is not peculiar to a particular party. All political parties are engaged in it. So don't mind the politicians when they are, accusing one another that a particular party is buying vote. They all bought votes. They all bought votes. It now depends on the highest bidder. And the people are already aware, especially, the masses, that the moment they go out to vote, they will get something in compensation. And they will be ready to fight anybody that is blocking their way. But that does not justify the fact that the law cannot be enforced. It depends on our law enforcement agents. Are they really ready? Are they willing? And most of them are not ready too, because even the law enforcement agents are there to make money on the election.
How are you sure, sir?
Hello?
How are you sure that they are there to make money? They were there to enforce.
They were there to enforce, but the law enforcement agents will still approach the political leaders from different parties. What do you have for us? I am sure of what I'm saying because I'm part of the people, community.
You see things.
We also all that happened during election day. They will tell them what do you have for us.
Okay. So you also made it clear.
To do one thing or the other. Okay, they will tell them we are hungry. Why should a police officer go to polling booth and start approaching a party official that we have not eaten?
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Tajudeen. You also made mention that they are all guilty, that all these political parties also, they were involved in vote buying. Am I right or wrong?
Every one of them. No, none is exceptional.
Okay.
It not depends on the highest bidder.
Okay.
If the PDP is able to offer more money than the APC, and the PDP has her way, then the APC will shout was. But if it is APC that is able to, give more money, and it has upper hand than the PDP will start shouting. That does not mean that the PDP did not offer money. It offers money. Every one of them offers money to the electorate.
Okay.
So they are all guilty.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Ahmed. We have to link up now with Barrister Honorable Ogunshi in a very short while. Thank you very much for your time, Barrister Ahmed.
You are welcome.
All right, Barrister Ogunshi, we're rounding up now. I sincerely appreciate you, but I just want a few words answer from you. Are political parties doing enough to stop these electoral ills? All right, okay. I hear he's off now. The greed, but basically we'll reconnect again. Some other time to finish this unfinished business. And we urge you as Nigerians to please act well your parts in making sure that Nigeria becomes a better place for all of us. It's just an election. If you're buying, there will be sellers, and of course, if they are selling, you must not buy. But if you choose to buy, whatever comes after this, then you don't cry foul. You would like to join the conversation this morning, the studio lines are there. You may send us message also on WhatsApp, equally on Facebook. You search for GLOW 99.1 FM. I guess we move now to another aspect of the program.
Yes, most definitely, and I'm sure Kingsley Neovosa is very much on. Let's see if we can still reconnect with our guests to just give us their final words on the program before we call it a wrap. Neovosa on the sporting arena.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Comfort. And now let's quickly move on to sports segment of this particular program, Glow Focus. And I'm telling you that Serena Williams, tennis great Serena Williams, who retired in 2022, has been awarded a wild card for the Wimbledon Grass Court Championship starting in a week. Organizers released the initial list of wild cards yesterday, Sunday, with Williams, a seven-time champion at the Auckland Club, one of the 8 players awarded a place in the ladies singles event. Away from Serena Williams, we talk about Nigeria's female yellow green again. The Nigeria's female national cricket team, the Yellow Greens, concluded their campaign at the 2026 Equiboca Women's T20I tournament on a high note, defeating Brazil women by 2 wickets to secure the third place finish on the spot on the podium at the prestigious international tournament in Kigali, Rwanda. All right. The victory at the Gahanga International Stadium was a fitting reward for a determined Nigerian side that refused to bow out without a fight. Having endured a difficult run of results leading into the third place playoff, the team produced one of its most resilient performances to finish the tournament with a medal. And away from that, let's move straight to Europe. I will be talking about football. Yes, Casemiro, Brazilian midfielder Casemiro, is on the verge of completing a move to Inter Miami CF after agreeing to leave Manchester United at the end of his contract. According to reports, all parties have reached a verbal agreement with only the final paperwork and official announcement made. The move will see the 34-year-old join forces with Lionel Messi in the Major League Soccer after breaking his 2-year spell at Old Trafford to a close. Again, in World Cup, Mohamed Salah, Egypt winger. Mohamed Salah has expressed happiness after this side recorded their first win at the ongoing FIFA World Cup tournament. Salah was on the score sheet as Egypt defeated New Zealand 3-1 in the early hours of today. The result leaves Egypt at the top of Group G with 4 points from 2 matches. They are ahead of Iran, Belgium, and New Zealand on the standings. So, speaking at the post-match interview after the game, Mohamed Salah said FIFA says in its FIFA website that it's incredible. Yes, it's incredible. Thank you very much. And again, why we lost to Egypt, New Zealand coach has come out and said this. Beram Bezali, a New Zealand coach, has explained why his team lost 3-1 against Egypt in today's World Cup clash. So the Brazilian said Egypt upped the tempo of the game in the second half, and his team could not replicate what they were doing so well in the first half. The three goals from Mustafa Ziko, Mohamed Salah, and Trezeguet gave the Pharaohs the victory against New Zealand. Let's take a look at some transfer stories. Now, several European clubs are showing interest in Super Eagles forward Akure Adams. Multiple clubs in Italian Serie A are said to be interested in the striker amid increasing uncertainty regarding his future at Sevilla. Adams had a remarkable season at the Ramos Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium, netting 10 goals and 16 four times in 33 appearances across all competitions. And again, Besiktas are ready to cash in with Wilfred Ndidi. Besiktas are willing to sell Wilfred Ndidi this summer as they look to overhaul their squad ahead of the 2026-27 season. Ndidi joined Turkish Super League giant from Leicester City for €80 million last summer. Besiktas are now ready to sell the Super Eagles captain for €10 million. And this is how far we can go to this edition of Sports. My name is Kingsley Nevosa.
All right, thank you very much, Kingsley. Let's quickly call it there. Of course, it's just the way it is today that Honorable should just have to give us his final words, on the program just before we say bye-bye. So thank you very much, Honorable Ogunsuyi, for accepting to talk to us on the program today.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So do you have any final words to our listener at home, as it is based on electioneering in Nigeria? What do you have to say to us before you go?
We should keep the peace. Nobody's ambition is worth your blood. Keep the peace, follow the trend, and let's continue to clamor for a cleaner election. Thank you very much.
All right. Do well to enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
You too.
All right. So that's it. Thank you very much for the sporting news from the sporting arena, Kingsley Neovosa. Do you have any contributions to that, Halim?
Well, basically, thank you very much for being part of the process this morning. You can always leave us comments on Facebook and also via WhatsApp. We'll definitely, take that to our books. Just like Honorable Gushi has said, that's coming from somebody who has been in the corridor of power, for a very long time. And he's speaking from experience, asking Nigeria to do the needful. And, of course, Nigerians staying away from whatever trend can complicate the electioneering process. We also appreciate Barrister Ahmed for being part of Word of Sound this morning. From a legal perspective, he's saying that there are laws that we have in our country as against vote buying or any other thing, use of election. Let's stay away from these things because these off-cycle elections are the test that we would have ahead of next general election. It's been a short time. My name is Mike Alim Obafemi. Bye for now.
My name is Kingsley Ineosa. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much for being part of a Word of Sound. I'd like to say very big thank you to those who called us, those who are trying to reach us. Not to worry, Wednesday is another day. There's a repeat of this program at night. Yes, let's see, by 10:30 through 11 p.m. All right, a very big thank you to the executive producer of the program, Dr. Ezekiel Akonde, on behalf of the entire production crew. My name is Comfort Omolafe. Bye for now.
For every dish, a winning recipe.